Hey, parents, and some students, I'm sure, watching this as well. Mr. Flynn here. Welcome back. This is my seventh grade science classroom, but I also teach gifted and talented and occasionally AC support. So some of you will maybe know me from being in the hallways. I'm the guy in the lab coat. You'll always see me around. So welcome to my classroom. So first things first, your students will be getting something that looks like this very soon. We've already discussed a lot of this. These are my expectations and policies. So this is how your child's graded. It's all in Genesis gradebook now, so you don't have to stress about that. But what I really want you to understand is the categories that we have. So there's tests and projects are lumped together, quizzes and labs are lumped together, there's classwork, notebooks, and then homework. I'll talk all about that in a minute. I have a section here for class conduct, how to reach out for extra help, what students are expected, and what to do if you're absent. Now, everything is already explained with your child. They already know what to do. They've been trained well, so it shouldn't be any issue. If you do have a problem or a question, reach out to me at any time at pflynn@hackensackschools.org, and I'll talk about that again in a second. So first, a little history about me. See if I can move my screen out of the way a little bit. You can actually move my face up here. A little bit about me. I went to Ramapo College of New Jersey. I have a BA in environmental sciences, and my master's is in educational technology. So I'm one of the tech people around here. If you ever have questions for technology, reach out. I just finished up more educational classes this past summer. Thank goodness. It's been years. So now I'm a master's plus 30, which is lovely. More schooling, right? Who knows when I'll go back again. I also work part-time at the Bueller Challenger Science Center, which is a space camp in Paramus, right up by the Bergen Community College. And with Bergen Community College, I also sometimes do a robotics camp over the summertime. But mostly it's the space camp that I'm truly in love with. So how to contact me. This is the easy one. All Hackensack teachers have the same email address. First initial, last name, @hackensackschools.org. Please email me. I check my email constantly. So you can always reach out if you need anything. We also utilize Google Classroom, so students are able to send messages through Classroom, and we can communicate back and forth using that. Those notifications pop up in my Gmail as well. So if a student sends a message through Classroom, even a private one, I can still access it through my email account. And my email is connected directly to my phone. So whenever I get a new email, I'm notified instantaneously. Now, of course, be fair, give me some time to respond, but I will be able to see your response or your email very quickly, promptly. So let's talk about grades. All right, so how are your students graded? Put my head right there. If I can just line it up. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So your students are graded with 10% homework. I don't give very much. Most of the work we do happens during school, during the school hours. And then if there's any homework given, it is usually preparing for a test or quiz, maybe adding more to a project, or the occasional, I didn't finish it during the day, I'm going to finish it for homework. Notebooks are 15%. Your child should have 4 composition books. They were asked a week and a half ago to get 4 of them for me. 4 for science. So make sure that they have those. If your child has me for gifted and talented, I requested a single composition book that they're going to be writing their notes in. Please, no spiral notebooks, no 3-ring binders, composition books. They're $1 right now. I saw them at Five Below, ShopRite. So please, buy them while they're cheap. When the back-to-school sales ends, that's going to be a problem. Classwork, 20%. So just your child showing up, being on time, participating, things like that. A whole chunk, 1/5 of their grade. Quizzes and labs, also 20%. I know that some students aren't the best of quiz takers. I get it. So I lumped labs in together. So that's usually really fair. I do the same thing with tests and projects. If your child's not a good test taker, by doing well on the projects, that'll boost them up. But please notice that percentage, 35%. That is a huge chunk. So if a student does miss a project, that'll be devastating for their grade. If they do poorly on a test as well, it's very difficult to recover from. So please make sure they study for tests. Make sure they use the applications and websites that I give them. I will show them everything they need to be successful. But we got to make sure we stay on top of them to actually handle what they need to handle. Okay, let's move on. So here's what we're learning this year in science. We're starting off with studying people scientifically. So we're going to learn how early scientists viewed people and studied them. This is important because we move into body systems. There's no way for us to learn modern day medicine unless we understand where the early sciences started off. We'll also learn about microscopes and cells. We'll talk about chemistry, genetics, DNA, lots of really cool stuff. Please talk to your kids about this stuff. It's exciting. They're going to be excited. They're going to want to discuss it. So saying, hey, what'd you do in science is a great way to have them explain what they've learned, because I'm going to give them a lot of good stuff. We do lots of hands-on projects this year, which of course will be difficult being distance learning. I know that we're planning on doing a hybrid model in the near future, so that'll make things a little bit better. But in the time being, please do whatever you can to guide your child at home while they work on their projects. They're not going to want to talk to their parents, right? They're not going to want to reach out to family members and say, hey, I need help on this. So every once in a while, please ask out, reach out to them. What are you working on? Anything big coming on? Is there anything I can do to help you? This is the years, middle school, where they're not children anymore, but they're not quite adults. So they still need parental and family supervision and assistance as often as you can give it. So please do what you can on your end. We do lots of labs, projects, and posters in science. So make sure that they have some materials at home that they can color with. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything like that would be great. Computers. Please make sure they have access to computers. Okay? They should have Chromebooks issued by the school with this distance learning. But if not, make sure they have access to something. If they do have access to a printer, I will occasionally have them print out documents. But if they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. We have everything planned out. When we do get back to school, it seems like Chromebooks will be staying one-to-one, meaning that Chromebook will stay with your child as they're here in the building, and that will act as not just their notebook, their digital notebook, but their digital textbook as well. We're not going to be issuing those things out. So make sure that their Chromebook is functioning and reach out to the main office if there's any problems along those lines. Genesis. Oh boy, I don't know where to put my face here. I'm going to put it over here. Please, 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 please have access to Genesis. Okay? This is where I go to check phone numbers and emails if I need to contact you. This is where all of our grades get inputted. This is where all projects and everything goes. You need to make sure you're checking out Genesis. Our kids have access. They'll be looking constantly to see where their grades are, what they're missing. But it's in your best interest to also know how you can view these things, including lates and absences, assignments, things that are missing, grades for all their classes. It's all there, right? The lates and absences, I think, are very important because with the whole distance learning, I realize that a lot of parents may not be home while their kid is in school. And we definitely have students who are already pushing those boundaries of showing up to class late or not being on time, still hanging out in their bedroom in their pajamas while they're supposed to be in school. So just make sure you talk to them about that. Some teachers are starting to already reach out with those regards. For me personally, I've only had a couple of issues. But if they persist, of course, you might be hearing from me. Hopefully not for this. Okay, Google Classroom. Every teacher uses it now, and it looks something like this. It is, think of it like social media for school. This is where we post all of our assignments, websites, links, videos, all that stuff. And it's a running stream. So it starts the first day of school, and it continues on until June 20, whatever. So a child can go in there and see things they've missed. So this is important if they're absent. Everything's posted online. Has been anyways, but especially now that we're digital. Please make sure they go into their classroom to find things they're missing. I would even recommend have them log in so you can poke around. See which assignments are late, missing, not submitted, things like that. It's a great feature. There is a parent component, but they don't give you as much information. So I feel like it is fair to say, hey, show me your classroom. Show me what you've been working on. Take a look. Just to wrap up here, I'll put my name right here, right in the front there. Science is fun. It's my favorite subject, and most of our students as well. They love science, and it's going to be a fantastic year this year. I know that we kind of miss out with a lot of the hands-on labs because of our distance learning, but as soon as we go back to in-person with the hybrid model, we have enough materials that I can have students working by themselves, so we can do most of our labs this year that we would normally do, which is fantastic news. The materials we use are easy because they're either disposable or they're easy for me to clean and wipe down to make sure we stay as safe as possible. So I'm looking forward to meeting your children in person, but it's been nice having the chance to talk with them just using our camera, right? Again, my email is on the bottom there, so pflynn@hackensackschools.org. Um, Thank you so much. Please email me if you have any questions. I will occasionally make phone calls, but email is the best way to contact me and for me to reach out to you. There's no way for you to call into my room to contact me, so email is the best if you have a question, concern, or comment. And the same goes for your children. Have them email me if they need anything. Okay? I'm available, and I want to make sure they have the best year possible. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you in the future.